Go long. Yeah. Vibe with it.
Okay.
Ride
Vibing with it.
I see you scratching the CTUN.
Vibing with it. Vibing with it.
Yo. CTUN in the house. This is can't tell us nothing in your
We
face
back.
right now. Right,
Like
right
you
here.
too. We in your face.
Like
on your
you
phone.
two in your iTunes. CTUN is currently in your face. Right here on a Tuesday night. We got John, we got Amitri, we got Tandy, we got myself, Antoine. The four of us make Can't Tell Us Nothing, an improv group out of Houston, Texas. Tonight, joined by a very special guest, joined by UCB legend, Betsy Stover, actor, podcaster, improviser, host of the podcast, Why Mommy Drinks. Hello and welcome.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I'm excited to play.
Thank you for joining. Thanks for
Yeah,
laying around with us.
For sure. Thank you.
Currently hailing from LA.
Mm-hmm.
City of Angels.
I know.
As they know. Betsy, I was listening to an episode of Why Mommy Drinks earlier this week. Great stuff. I listened to the Bobby Moynihan episode, but I want to learn a little bit about what inspired you to start the podcast.
Oh, well, so I have 3 kids. I have a 6-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 12-year-old. And I had a particularly harrowing trip to a sporting goods store where like no one would help me, and my children were going bonkers, and they were like pulling basketballs out of boxes and like throwing them around the store and like picking up free weights and walking around with them and being like, "Mama, I'm exercising. I'm getting fit." And then they were like fighting, and I had to separate them, and it was just such a nightmare. And I told my friend about it, and she was like, "We should have a podcast." So my friend Amanda Allen, she has twins and also an older son, and she was like, "You and I have the same nightmare slash like we both laugh at the nightmare that parenting can oftentimes be. We can swear here, yeah.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Please do.
Get down and dirty, Mom.
So she was like, we both see the fun in just the absolute shit show that parenting can be. So like, let's do a podcast where we have people come on and tell us stories about times their kids drove them to drink, literally or figuratively.
I would love to join that podcast. I have one every day. I also have 3 children. Mine are 11 months, 3 years, and 5 years old.
Wow. 5.
You are legitimately in the shit.
Yes, knee deep in the shit.
Yeah, and you know, like it's great, and then some days you end the day like a quivering pile like on the floor, and you're like, who am I? What have I done?
I have a 21-month-old and another one on the way.
Congratulations!
Just dipping the toe into the shit. Right? Not quite in there just yet. Yeah. But thank you.
And I've
21. Oh yeah.
Oh no, go ahead. No, I was about to say, and I've come through the shit. I've got a 21-year-old and a 15-year-old. So I'm, a little, I get a little teen, but
well past.
It's nothing. Yeah, it's the kind
of. Although
I've
heard that there's still shit shows. It's just like different kinds of shit shows.
Way different kinds.
now it's like what? Well, I don't want to put words into your mouth, but yeah.
Right. The threats mean nothing now. I used to have some pretty colorful ones. Yeah, I used to have some pretty colorful ones. Now they're just memories.
the threats is something I'm wondering how to handle, because every parent, it's a valuable weapon in the arsenal, but you hope you don't have to follow up most of the time. You don't have to come through on what you're threatening. So I'm trying to balance, like in my head, in the future, what will I threaten with, and how will I execute that if I need to? Because I need to know you have teeth, right? I need to know you could do something.
but they're also children, and there's stages that you just never experience, and they know how to push your buttons. They're, and so I think it's good to have like a method of like, okay, if they reach this level, I'm going to threaten them, and then I'm going to strike them afterwards, or whatever you do, smite them. But to me, in my experience, and Betsy, Tandy, you can back me up if I'm lying or not. My kids get me on days where I'm like low energy, have low fuel in the tank. It's been like a series of things that have to line up, and then these children are just going, ape shit. They're just trying you every single type of way, and it's almost like they sense the low energy, and the frustration is just already there, and they just push you. And in those instances, like I think it's like you got to give yourself the freedom to spaz on your children if you love them. If you love them, if you don't love them, I would say it's not safe for the children to do that. If you love them, you got to give them at least 1 to 3 in their life. You got to you don't have to hurt them, right? But it could be like a public display of humiliation. For me, I'm a good athlete. I'm really good at throwing. I don't like hitting my kids, but I will throw something across the room with pinpoint accuracy and hit you, and just look at you and like, yes, I did that in front of everybody. You are getting to me, right? But I don't wake up every day like I'm going to fuck up my kids.
Yeah,
they're going to do this. It's like just a series of little dominoes that happen, and you're like, man, if I don't get to this drinking time, I'm going to throw this picture frame at this 3-year-old. just feel like shit. Yeah, it is, man. They get you. So whatever your buttons are, your children will find them, and you're going to have to like reprogram and figure out new buttons, because they're going to they take over you, man. You watch Maury.
Yeah. That I used to just do like verbal colorful stuff, and I was really like trying it out, so like to see if it would sound good if I told people later, because it's like, if they're doing whatever, and I'm like, y'all don't know me. No, you don't really know me. You only know me for a couple of years. I will have the cops all up in there. And then I go back and I'm like, that sounded cool. I don't know what my kids thought. What does that mean? The cops all in this.
Real quick, shout out to Katie. Apparently, so Katie says, so y'all, Lucky is now into David Bowie after we watched Labyrinth, and he says to me, Mommy, you can really see the Goblin King's penis. I've never watched Labyrinth. Is that a big part of it? Is that a big reveal?
When I was 10 years old, I watched Labyrinth for the first time, and it was a sexual awakening. It was like, who is this? Who is this dominant, androgynous, very tight pants wearing
very
man? Yeah, I'd never seen anything like that before. I think that's true of a lot of people watching Labyrinth for the first time.
Where did you see it on TV? Like, how do you even see it?
I saw it.
We were at
a family friend's house, and we were having like a movie night. And I was like, what is happening?
They're like, let's watch Labyrinth.
Has anyone had an awakening sexual experience? We're gonna watch Labyrinth. All right, little kids. That's awesome. No,
in my experience, everyone either has a sexual awakening watching Labyrinth or watching Robin Hood, the animated movie with the foxes.
What?
Foxy Fox? Well, don't act like you don't know the Foxy Fox.
I know it, but I'm trying to remember what the sexual.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, and I've watched that over and over again. But what was the sexy scene there?
There's no sexy scene. It's just the sexy Robin Hood Fox. I know so many women who were like, I swooned for that character.
He was awesome. He was.
I'll throw in a honorable mention to the Nala scene in Lion King, when she gave him the look.
She gave him some eyes.
She gave him the look, you know.
She gave him some eyes.
Everybody knew that was a look that you wanted to get when you get older. Just put it that way.
You gave him some eyes. You're right. You're right.
Betsy, you know the look, yeah?
No.
Ah, Lion King.
Pull up the
It was a
Nala
sexual
look.
awakening for you? That
Oh,
look?
It triggered something. It triggered
Oh
something.
man, Antoine. Learn something new every day.
Oh, hilarious.
That's why people really
Let's
like
share
The
it right
Lion
now.
King.
Really?
I'm trying to think, what movie was that for me?
Boom.
Yes, that one. Yeah,
Oh.
it's a funky, yeah, intimate look. It's only a couple of things on her mind with that look.
The grass is itching her back.
No, she has a smirk. Her eyes are like, yeah, that's a better image right there. Look at that.
Look what Rob Perez says right down here.
What's it
What
say?
does Rob Perez say?
Says, that look Nala gave Simba in the field should have been enough to make the Lion King at least PG-13. We all know the look.
That was a good one. That was a good one. I can't think of any scenes that I remember. I noticed toys. I remember I had a lot of girl cousins and they would play with their Barbies. And I had my action figures were all muscular and muscles on top of muscles on top of muscles. And you get the Barbie dolls and they have the curves and they have the, the underwear and the tight pants. And it's, you're like, oh my God. And you don't even really know what's happening. You just know, like you said, your body is starting to notice these things, right? But yeah.
Yeah, why would they have kids play with a grown woman body doll? I'm just thinking about that.
Have you seen the LOL dolls today? The LOL girls look like strippers.
I know,
Yeah.
but
From Miami.
But if you think about it though, but when you think about it, like why would kids play with like an adult doll? Like why
Well,
would you?
Tandy, did you have Barbie dolls? Because mine were always talking.
I did. That's what I'm saying. Bad idea. That's what I'm saying, man. Why would you do that? What's the benefit of that? The dolls.
It's a lesser threatening way for children to explore, I guess, their sexual awakenings.
We cut to Barbie headquarters. All right, team. You guys know why we're here. All the complaints we've been getting from parents about the dolls. Apparently, the kids across the nation are just making these dolls fuck each other, and that's all they're doing. That's not why we developed these toys.
No,
right?
Of course.
No, well. To be fair, I do think giving dolls penises and the lady dolls vagina holes is a little bit too much for children. Well, the old days we used to just give them all androgynous body parts. Today we're getting a little bit too natural.
We decided early on that science is important here. We cannot skimp out on the representation of genitalia. But one thing we can do is maybe make these dolls less attractive. I'd like to hear some ideas on what we can do to these dolls to make it so kids don't think that they are gonna have sex with each other. Maybe they can be platonic friends. Maybe they should be like friend zone dolls. Is what I'm thinking.
Well, I've been working on female prototype, and I don't know if you guys can see, but I put glasses on her, so that should make her unfuckable. She's wearing glasses.
What if the glasses fall off?
Is there like a?
That's where we started.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. I'll put it back.
Yeah. It was good. It was almost as good as your ponytail idea. Those two together are going to be boom.
Pull it up.
Yeah.
What if we give Ken just like a nerdy haircut with like a really hard part and just a nerdy haircut?
Nerdy haircut.
Like an alfalfa kind of cut.
Yeah.
A little cow lick in the
No
back.
one fucks alfalfa.
No,
That's
no one
awesome.
would.
That's
No
a
one
great
would
idea.
alfalfa.
I mean, alfalfa's a child. That's the first part of why they don't.
That's true.
But
That is 100%
Right.
true.
We always have to remember
wait.
that, guys. We make these
Candy,
comparisons.
what?
Talking about children.
I was gonna say, but what if like a child is playing with him and they lean him forward and his hair falls forward over his eyes, and then it's got to move back
wow.
dreamily. You know, if it's a little bit long there. I mean, you know, I'm not
You're
sure.
right.
If,
You're right.
Some child might be turned on. Maybe, I don't know.
Hey, it can happen. It can happen.
What if we say that Ken has COVID and we turn him into a COVID doll, so that way he has to technically be quarantined from other dolls?
I like this. I
Mm,
like where this
Give him a little mask,
yeah.
make him look a little flush and pasty, you know.
Then you have to keep a 6-foot radius around.
Yeah,
These dolls can't
nobody-
come within 6 feet of each other.
Not at all.
That's good, and it's topical, and it lets children, therapeutically work through their feelings about COVID. I love this.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, and we can give him a little, I don't know if we want to go with sound. We can make him cough or something, like a little button in the back they can push and go, or just a little, I don't know, a little something like that.
Oh.
Make it real.
Let's
If
do it.
we're trying to make him unattractive, I have to say there is nothing more unattractive and unappealing to women than sick men who won't stop complaining about how sick they feel.
You're a genius, Betsy.
Yeah.
You're a genius.
So you push the button on him, he coughs, and he says, I don't feel well.
No, even better. It just happens randomly. You don't have to push the button. It just happens. Like,
Oh, that's even better. No
Yeah.
control.
Right?
No control, just
Yeah.
constant
Irritating.
bitching and complaining from the Ken doll. I think we are on to something.
I think this
team.
is it. COVID Ken is what we need to be
COVID
putting on shelves. And King. Oh,
Yes.
handled.
COVID King.
Done.
COVID.
COVID kid.
What if his hair falls in front of his face?
I have to say there is something about man colds. Are you now? I mean, you didn't say whether or not you have children. Do you have children?
No, I don't. So thank you guys for the ringing endorsement of having
I was just gonna say, one thing I notice is like after women have children, like any kind of problem that men have, they are just not like they're just not here for it. It's like whatever it is, it's never going to be as bad as childbirth, and so I cannot and I will not hear it.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
I can sympathize with that. I try not to be a complainer if I'm feeling sick. I'm more of a like this leave the room, let me be in my sickness. Bring me water every once in a while if you could. I don't want to go out there.
If
And
you
like,
could.
If it's
I don't
too
wanna
much
be a-
trouble.
if it's not too much trouble.
Yeah, it's not too much trouble.
Passive.
I'll suffer my own. But I will say
There's a
I
sink
have
in
had one
here.
of
I'll
those-
just drink out of that if I need.
I have had one of those super man codes where you feel like it's way worse than any code you ever felt, and maybe it's because that my wife had kids, so now my body structure is also changing. But yeah, she makes fun of me all the time if I ever get something really sick, and no matter what, some stuff I just can't. Like I just have to rest. I don't complain, but it's like she can have the flu and she'll still go to work and come home, fix lunch for the kids, sweep, go get the mail, and then crash at night, right? If I am sick, right, I'm like, I need all of my cells of my body to stop everything they're doing and focus on getting rid of this thing that's inside of us, kicking our ass. Nothing else matters until we get rid of this. That's how my body responds.
Like a royal weed.
Yeah, it's like I need every cell, hair cells, nail cells, everything needs to turn and fight this thing. That's how I respond to it. But I hear you. Like I don't think nobody likes, a complaining adult, right? That can do for themselves. Nobody does. So I have learned that I have to I have to suffer in silence, I guess you'd call it. At least when I'm around my wife, because she's had children, and that's, one of the most catastrophic events she's had 3 times in her life. I can't argue pain with you. Yeah, I have to get shot in order to be like, I got shot. That is almost as bad as having a baby.
Even then, she's like, did you get shot in your vagina?
In your vagina. For hours over and over. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. I hear a lot of ladies complaining about man colds.
Yeah, they should try it. Some of them are pretty bad. It's not, just throwing that out there.
Yeah, man colds are tougher than women colds. A little bit more rugged of a cold.
It's a little more violent, more aggressive.
More violent.
Real stubborn.
Cold.
You see that?
You gotta just let it work it out.
We cut to a bedroom. It's about to go to work. I know you're not feeling so hot. Is there anything you need me to get you before I go?
Yes. I think you should call the lawyer and get my affairs in order.
What?
And maybe just check to make sure my life insurance policy is still in place. I don't think I'm going to make it from this. I think this is the big one.
Paul, that's wild. You just have a cold.
But it's a big one. I feel it in my feet. My toes are cold. My teeth are hurting right now. No cavities, just pain in the teeth. Never had anything like that. You gave me some chicken noodle soup and my teeth started to hurt worse. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. I just feel like I'm not going to make it. This cold is trying to take me out.
Jeez. Okay. Look,
But I love you. I love you.
I love
do.
you. I love you too. Look, I'll bring you some tea before I go.
Sorry, knock. I'm Dr. Lewis, Paul's general practitioner.
Oh,
I heard he has a. Yeah, I heard he's very sick, and I came over to check on him.
Ow! Ow!
Oh my
Y'all are
God.
talking too loud, and too long. It is too much for my ears.
Doctor, he just has a cold. I don't think it's any big deal. I think he's just making a big deal of it,
Okay, I'm gonna have to do a thorough examination on him, just to make sure that this isn't something more serious than just a regular cold. Get my bag of tools here. Okay. All right. Can you say "ah" for me, please, sir?
Yes, give me a few minutes.
What?
Take your time. Take your time. I know this.
Oh.
Whew. Is it hot in here? Okay.
It is. Ma'am, could you get us maybe 2 beers from downstairs? Just to...
What?
Yes. Can you get them from the garage in the freezer in the fridge?
A couple of beers, yes.
Just some really cold ones, babe, please.
Okay, sweetie. If it's gonna make you feel better, and also, I want to be respectful to your doctor.
Hey, knock. Hey,
thank you.
John's lawyer here. Is this where John is? Great,
Paul?
great.
Yes.
My husband, Paul?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
We call him John in the office when he comes in for our meetings. I just wanted to let you know, I heard he was sick, so I brought his favorite hoagie. This is a huge sandwich here. Is there a place I can put it in the bedroom there?
Oh, you could, but, he's so sick. Paul, you're probably too sick to eat this sandwich. You could barely open your mouth for the doctor.
You're right, babe. I was wondering if you could cut it up into slices and with a fork just kind of feed me pieces of the hoagie. The lawyers did a really, really awesome job going all the way to Philadelphia and ordering me my favorite hoagie. I think it has a lot of love and care in this whole, and it's gonna help bring me back to a manly standard. Oh, I talk too much.
Oh, yeah, rest.
Please,
Please,
sir.
please hurry with
Yeah,
these
please.
hoagie slices on 3 plates, please.
Yeah, and 3 beers, please. Three very cold beers.
Okay.
Knock, 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 knock.
Yeah, hello?
Dun, 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 dun. Hi, I'm Jim with ESPN. I heard Paul is real sick in here.
What?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I'm from ESPN. We got word that John was feeling real sick. We just wanted
Is
to
that-
come on over and
Is
cheer
that
him
Jim
up.
Brown, the
It's
Hall
Jim-
of Fame Jim Brown?
It's the Hall of Famer Jim Brown. Down
Oh
here, talking to
Lord!
your wife. Oh, he sounds real bad. If you don't mind, I'm gonna take him and the film crew up to the room. Come on in, guys. We're gonna go on
Paul,
up
did
there
you
and-
enroll in some sort of Make-A-Wish program for
I
your
did.
cold?
I did as soon as I tested myself for a cold, and it came back positive. I knew that life was going to be real short for us, and I wanted to make sure I got everything out that I wanted to do in my life. Unfortunately, I only have enough energy for Jim Brown right now. But baby, you asking a lot of questions. Have you got a chance to go
I
get
haven't.
those
There's one more
cold
question.
beers for us? We got guests here. Oh, I've been talking too much. I'm tired.
And scene.
I know no sports people. I was like, who's a quarterback? I can't even call a name.
I had
I'm
to think
like,
about that one too. It's like, who's
Thank
a
you.
Jim?
I was like, I don't know. Yeah.
I for one, Tandy, was really impressed that you were able to pull a name.
Jim. From
Oh,
ESPN.
Yeah.
Good job, John. Yes.
You know who I am. Yeah, the one and only. Yeah. Betsy, I have a question. What would you say? This is a question I want to ask. I would ask my wife, but she wouldn't give me like a real answer that I'm not like a part of. What would you say is one of the most? What is something that you wouldn't have experienced it until you became a mom? Like, what is something that you're like, man? When I had children, I never thought I would be this or do this, but I full effect do this thing, right? I am the paper bag lunch mom, right? Or like, what is that for you?
There are a couple things. I mean, first of all, there's just those times where you're like, did I really just have to tell someone not to put their penis in the carrots, or like those moments? Like, I feel like you constantly are like walking around, you're like, why is this wet? What is it wet with? Oh God. I mean, that's the first thing that comes to mind. But what was the other thing? Shit, I was gonna say I can't think of it right now because someone's hammering outside of my house and it's distracting me.
Well, the body parts, I would say for sure is a big one. Like I have 2 daughters, and they are always just saying, some of the craziest things about their body parts. And I feel like I ask myself, like, how did I get in this conversation with you about this? And it's crazy, like that they're going to be an adult one day, and I'm going to never forget that they were walking around talking about, their private parts being on, fire or something. They're playing with them, right? And I'm just like, wow.
Yes, all the time. I'll
Yeah.
never forget. I have 4 younger brothers, and I remember once one of them had his hands down his pants, and he goes, "It's like there's a bone in there." Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was really digging, or he was having an epiphany.
He was having a real epiphany. It was as if he had created the word boner, and he didn't even know it.
Oh my God.
Like there's a bone in there.
Wait, is that? Oh my God. Yeah. No, but I still am young enough to remember some of those, ignorant breakthroughs I had as a child. And we live them a lot through my children. They'll have these moments, and I'll go, man, this is the first time you've experienced that. And then I'll go, I sounded probably that dumb too as a child, like first time you experience it, but you forget, we have all these years and compounding years of emotion. You forget these young children are just wrestling with these new feelings and discoveries. And it's wild how they respond to it.
You're right. And also, like, babies go through that moment where they're like discovering their hands and discovering their feet. And we forget that they're also at some point discovering that they have, bits and pieces. But whenever that happens, we're like, oh yeah, okay. Like, we don't want to talk about it, but it's got to be shocking and amazing to be like, oh man, I've got this body part. It feels crazy.
Yeah. Katie's experienced that too.
I'm playing with my penis.
It's
go ahead.
I
have a friend who's her sons will just be like, I gotta go to my room, and then they go in their room and they do whatever it is that they have to do, and then they come out.
We know what they have to do.
Yeah, but they're like little. Like I'm impressed that they're like
nice announcement.
Yeah, nice announcement, exactly.
I have an announcement to make. Gotta go to my room.
Situate this stuffed animal just right, just how I need it, and now we're good.
My wife watches a lot of TikTok, and she sees plenty of videos on #boymoms, and she keeps saying she's not ready. She's not ready for those conversations. Not ready for discussing the penis, testicles.
Yeah, man. And it gets worse. I mean, and
it gets worse.
My brother, I remember when I was in college, my mom called me and she's like, my brother had to be 14, 15 at the time. She's like, he's in his room. And when I try to go in it, he's always rustling around and I can't get in there. I don't know what he's doing. I'm like, I can only name, a few things that a little boy would be in his room tucked away doing. And she wanted me to give him the conversation. And they're like, how do you have that conversation with a young boy, right? Like, I didn't really get that conversation. You kind of put it together through multiple conversations and possibly movies, but
Labyrinth.
But yeah, Labyrinth. So, bring it all full circle. But yeah, that was a true conversation to have with my younger brother, let alone my son. Like, here's what you're feeling, here's what's going down, here's the safe way to do it, or whatever, right?
We cut to a young boy's bedroom. Sweetie, I think we need to have a serious talk.
Really? Okay. About what?
Well, I know that you're getting older and you probably have a lot of questions about your body. And I'm just gonna when two people love each other very much. And
Mom, what is this? What are you about to tell me? What are you about to
we need to have a discussion about what happens when you get older and you have all these feelings and you have all these new things happening with your body. And so anyway, when two people love each other very much, and one is a goblin king and one is a 14-year-old girl, and they are in a magical land, a maze perhaps, off in sort of a goblin kingdom. And one of them has a little baby brother who is maybe stolen by the Goblin King.
Okay, hold on, Mom. Slow down. I'm getting lost here. There's so many characters getting introduced.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
What is a Goblin King? What does the one look like?
Look,
Am I the Goblin King in this scenario? I'm
Yes, you're the
confused.
Goblin King in this
I
scenario.
don't want to be a Goblin King.
What?
I don't
No?
want to be a Goblin King.
Oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry, but I have bad news. Every little boy grows up to be a Goblin King.
Oh.
One day you're gonna grow up and you're gonna find yourself.
Are you saying Dad's a Goblin King?
Yeah, he is. He is a Goblin King.
Okay, I guess if Dad's a Goblin King, I can be a Goblin King.
We cut to the mom talking to the school, the kid's school principal. So Miss Turner.
Yeah.
I think you gave your son the talk last night.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't
about
think
how every little boy grows up and turns to. No?
I don't think you're gonna have to worry. I think he has all the information that he needs now. It's very fraught as they get older.
Right. It's just he came into school today and was telling all the other kids, and everyone got like really scared about it. There was like a lot of chaos this morning.
Yeah.
So I would really. Yeah.
Changes are scary. I remember being so scared. What are these? And they were boobs, and it was scary. Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just the other parents have been like way too scared to get their kids to talk. So if it's not too much trouble, could you maybe do like a school announcement to share with the other kids about what's really going to happen to them as they get older?
I would be so flattered. Thank you. We cut to that talk. All right, boys and girls. So I've been entrusted with giving you the talk. All right, so let's just go ahead and start. When two people love each other very much, and one is very dominant, and one is very submissive and younger, and one has all the power and is much older, and also has magic, and then they might dance at a dance and then fall in love, and they may or may not. Is everyone following this?
My uncle is a magician and he's really strong. Are you talking about my uncle?
Yes. You're all gonna grow up to be Goblin Kings.
Anton, your mom's weird.
I know, but she has the best way of explaining this. None of the other parents have been able to have this talk with us. But I just wish it wasn't so embarrassing when she did it.
So embarrassing. Goblin Kings. It really sounds like some elaborate storyline from something else that has absolutely nothing to do with sex at all.
Mom, get to the rising action.
All right, and so when you're ready to consummate your love, you need to find your way through a labyrinth, and girls, you're going to need to find a beautiful white dress. And what?
There are costumes involved in this?
Well, if you're doing it right, yeah. Scene.
If you're doing it right, gotta have the costumes for sure.
What a movie to have to look up to explain sex. What if that was it was only allowed, you could only teach your kids based on this movie. You gotta go find it. What? And watch it and then dissect it. And what?
That was the curriculum. It's like what they showed in health class.
Kids would be just so much more confused. It was so much more confused.
I have a 7th grader, and he still, I don't think, has had sex ed at school, which I find really alarming.
Yeah, it is. I think I started in 4th or 5th grade.
Yeah.
Is when
They start hitting you around the puberty time. So what is that like? I think they'll start 10.
Yeah.
Maybe about 10 or something that the schools will do that. You know, girls go to one room, boys to the other. Yeah.
Although
All I know.
oh, go on.
No, I was gonna say all I do is when I was a young when I was being shown those videos and that content, I remember I was more terrified of the unknown than what they were showing because they at the time they were breaking sex into us through this horrific fear, fear mongering kind of way where they show you all of these STDs and the guy has, like a octopus dick with all kinds of like bumps on it, and you're like, what? You just started getting comfortable. Yeah, you just started getting comfortable with your own stuff, and then you see it all these other crazy shit. People were terrified coming out of there. Like, don't touch me. I don't
with, like AIDS and terrified to to sexually express yourself because we would all die. That's what everyone was telling us.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, my generation had probably a pretty bad sex ed introduction, but I wouldn't leave YouTube to form my children or TikTok to form my children. I wouldn't do that either. Yeah.
And octopus dick, I'm still there. I'm sorry. That has not left my brain. I have not left my
mind. Dick will form 7 others out of your own dick.
Sir, you cannot wear pants. What is this? Is a straight? It just oh my god.
We were terrified. That's all we talked about. They showed us like boobs and vaginas like right after that, but once they show you the STDs, you're like, I don't even want to see none of this. I don't even want to eat lunch. I just want to like go to the playground and let's talk about what it was we just experienced. Like, I've never seen nothing like that. And it didn't make it easier for me to have that conversation with my mom either, But I remember seeing it was like all kinds of like, it was messed up, man. It was terrible.
I grew up with my dad is a Lutheran minister, so I grew up with a lot of like shame around like bodies and sex, and between that and what you just described, John, of just like sex ed was all just like, you're gonna get a horrible disease and you're gonna die and your dick's gonna fall off. And it's gonna be terrible, and you're gonna be pregnant, and then life will be over.
We're like, where all these people come from? So
right.
But when you find that special someone, it will be a magic.
You go through the labyrinth. You will be all right.
No, I remember I was traumatized from that conversation. Love and two people love each other. I was on the bus in middle school. And kids all fresh talking and whatever. And this guy was talking about some girl he didn't like or something. He's like, I started that bitch. And I was like, but why would you do that if you don't like her? I think everybody looked at me and laughed. And that was like the first time I realized, oh, you don't have to be in love to do that. That's just a thing that happens. Because the conversation was always when you love somebody. So I was like, if you hate her, what are you doing?
You're doing it wrong.
I mean, I said it out loud. And I remember they just looked at me and I was like, what? And that was the first time I realized, oh God, the world is not as I thought. Yes. It always happened that way. Yeah.
Everyone who's ever had sex had loved each other.
That's according to
don't screw it up, okay? Yeah, don't screw it up.
Don't screw it up. You keep that trend going. We got a record here. Holy crap.
I love that though. Just like, why would you want to mess around with someone that you don't respect or like that much?
You're angry. What's happening? I didn't know.
We cut to a scene where Son's talking to his mom. Mom, I just put like 2 and 2 together, and I'm just now coming to the realization that you might have had sex before Dad.
Oh.
I mean, I was talking to Dad about it, and he just said some things that just kind of made it seem like you guys weren't the only people that, y'all got together and did. I thought, you know, you waited and then you met Dad, and then you guys were only with each other, but it sounds like you guys were not.
Gerald, let me stop you. You keep saying sounds like. Exactly what did your dad say that made you think that your mother was not a holy woman until I met him?
Well, he told me that when y'all met in college, y'all were different people and y'all were interested in having fun and expressing yourself. I was like, what does that mean? What does that mean? And he said, go ask your mom. And I was like, okay. And then he said it again. We were talking about some guy, and he was like, yeah. He was an old friend of your mom's. I was like, what does that mean? And he's like, go ask your
We
mom.
cut back to that conversation. Yeah, that son, that guy driving his bike into the house next street, across the street.
Yeah, that bicycle, that red bicycle.
No. He has the red bicycle, but he also has a chopper, which is like a very nice motorcycle.
Oh yeah, okay.
He's an old friend of your mom's. He's moved in across the street. If you see him come over here, let me know.
Okay. Do you want to ride his chopper?
No.
Do you like his? You don't
no
like
one's
his?
no one's riding this chopper in this house.
No one is riding.
If you need to know what that means, go ask your mom. That's all I gotta say.
We come back to the conversation with his mom. So your dad said,
We see that she's brushing her hair.
your dad said that nobody with a chopper can come in this house, huh?
No, he specifically said no one is riding his chopper in this
His
house.
chopper in this house. Oh,
And he told me to ask you what that meant.
listen. Your dad is not an adventurous man, okay? And I think what he was talking about before was back when we were in college and I was holy. We just wanted to do different activities. And so I took a motorcycle riding class from this guy who lived on my floor. And that's basically it. Hand me my helmet back there behind you.
Okay.
Right there on the, yeah. And basically we were just he was teaching me to ride the bike, and your father got a little jealous because I could ride a bike and he couldn't.
Okay. Oh, okay. I don't know if that's how he really feels, but I'm just going to say Dad is really worried about the guy that lives across the street with the new motorcycle.
Oh, is
Yeah, he's talking about you guys know each other, and you know, I love both of you guys, Mom and Dad.
Honey, while you're talking, open and close the blinds real fast 3 times for me. Just open and close them. Open and close. Open it. They're good.
Okay.
Go on.
That was
Knock, knock. Knock, knock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me.
Go
you
ahead.
want me to get that? You want me to get that? I'll get that.
Yeah, go ahead. Go downstairs. I'm gonna finish dressing.
Hey.
Well, hello. Is your mother home?
Who are you?
Oh, my name's Bob.
Oh, Bob. Are
An
you?
old friend of your mom's.
Oh, do I hear that, sweet Bob? My motorcycle instructor downstairs.
Oh, is that Carol? I hear the sweet toasted tones of Carol.
Oh, Bob.
Shit. Mom, can I speak to you for a little bit, Mom?
Hold
Can
on
I
a
speak
second,
to you
Bob.
for the side?
Let me just square him away. I'll be right back.
Okay, don't leave me waiting too long.
I won't. Yes, go ahead, Gerald. Make it quick.
I think Dad is going to be pissed. This is the guy. He specifically told me he didn't want to come over our house. What am I going to do? If he asks me about this, what do I say? You're riding on the chopper with Bob?
Did you see the man your dad doesn't want me to ride on a chopper with? Did you actually see his face?
We cut to him the son talk to his dad. So did you see the man? Did you see the man I didn't want your mother riding with? Did you see his face?
Are you going to hit me if I say yes?
No. I would, son. Of course not.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit the wall over here.
Oh no,
But
that brick
nowhere
wall,
near
that's
you.
going to be really dangerous.
It's very therapeutic. I just want to hear. Son, you just need to know your dad. I would ride a chopper. It's just my legs, they don't open wide enough to actually get onto the chopper. It was it was an accident back in early college. Ask your mom what that means. Ask your mom what that means.
Ask what you could just finish. You could just finish the detail here, Dad.
If I could ride a chopper, I would. That's what I'm saying.
Cut back to mom and Bob. Bob, let me see you straddle that bike. Let me see you open those legs.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. I missed
His
that.
legs are so wide. Jesus.
Absolutely fantastic. Tell your dad, don't wait up.
And scene.
It's a little bit of a pickle there.
I like that Antoine's character, he had like 10 legs. Like he couldn't. He couldn't.
Listen, they mainly go front and back. They don't
He's
go
a front back. He's not a lateral.
Yeah, no lateral. Yeah.
No lateral.
It's enough to drive a woman insane.
Okay, Betsy, we actually have a special segment here. Tandy has been keeping a special eye on a little restaurant called Long John Silver's. I'm gonna play just a 10-second thing.
Oh, look who it is. It's Tandy. She knows everything about the sea. Won't you listen to her thoughts on Long John Silver's?
Yes. Welcome. I know it's been a while since I discussed any Long John Silver's information, but one of our viewers and friend of the show, JTF, sent me a TikTok. She forwarded a post to me, and I want to share it with you guys because I hadn't been really thinking about Long John, but this put it on my radar. And Antoine, if I could get you to show that first picture.
Is it
it's the very first one? Yes. This is a picture.
Is that a pimp shrimp?
It is. It's pimp shrimp. And just so we make sure, Antoine, go to the picture right before it with the Long John Silver.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. I gotta. Where is it? There it is.
Yeah. So I want you to see that this is actually on a Long John Silver's. This is in Durant, Oklahoma. And now you can go back to the actual shot of the pimp shrimp. Yes, shrimping ain't easy. Remember we were trying to come.
He's pimping other shrimp. Hilarious.
A cool like mascot for them. Like what's something that might grab the people's attention?
It's a pimp shrimp.
Yes, an artist in Durant, Oklahoma, with their permission, came up with this shrimping ain't easy. So I thought you keep that in the back of your minds, people. Hopefully,
pimp shrimp.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to in case anyone is listening to the audio version, I want to describe this. This is a pimp, or no, this is a shrimp wearing a feathery hat, wide brim hat, gold tooth.
Yes,
gold tooth is important.
A cloak with the same trim, same white feather trim. It's like a royal purple.
Yep. Yeah, like an ermine trim.
Ooh, ermine. And then we have a cane with a diamond on top.
Yeah,
that means he's a successful pimp.
Very successful.
Yeah.
And there's a talk bubble off of the shrimp that says "Shrimping ain't easy."
Which I'm assuming is his catchphrase that he constantly voluntarily says.
And I hope the people in Long John Silver see this and do something with it. So I was thinking, so the next one will be the tweet, the Long John Silver's tweet, the photo of that. Yes. So it just made me think, like, what's Long John Silver's doing, right? If this shrimp is like causing a stir in Oklahoma, maybe they're doing something now on their page. So I go to their page and we missed it, but yesterday was Talk Like a Pirate Day. If you talk like a pirate, you got a free piece of fish or chicken. But if you came dressed like a pirate, then you got a free 2-piece fish or chicken basket, right? And so to help you out, they have, if you go to their page, if you go to their Twitter feed, they've got all of these
Like the
sea
vocabulary,
related, related to pirates and the pirate world, so you can learn something there. And so I thought, wow, okay, they got the shrimp thing. I was like, they're really turning it around. Maybe people are going in, but I see that their followers, the numbers are still the same. But if you go to the next slide, surprise, surprise, Barstool Sports reports. This is from a Curve USA survey that the top 10 websites that people spent the most money on in 2022. Long John Silver's is number 6. Number
These
1
people
is
gotta
Amazon.
be from like North
Number
Dakota
2,
or something.
OnlyFans.
2, OnlyFans.
That
3,
makes sense.
eBay. 4, Target. 5, Best Buy. 6, Long John Silver.
Long
7,
John
Home
Silver's.
Depot. 8, Walmart. 9, Etsy, and 10, Kohl's.
Long John Silver's being the only restaurant on that list.
And I thought I was like, okay, they just made this up. And then I saw that there was an actual article in Newsweek. I forwarded that article. We don't have to go through it. But just to support this Curve USA, I think there's some kind of like bank wallet, some kind of electronic wallet service, whatever. I don't know. I don't know. But what I know is that Long John's doesn't have to do very much advertising because people are not going into the stores. They're buying this crap online. They're either at home because they're too old or ailing to get out and they want some of that fish, or they're too embarrassed to go there, or they don't like waiting in the long lines. So this is my Long John update. In Durant, Oklahoma, check out Shrimp Pimp.
Shrimp. Yeah.
Keep up with the calendar for next year.
I feel like I'm gonna be Shrimp Pimp for Halloween this year.
It's a great gimmick. But people are ordering Long John Silver's and they're having it.
Think of how bad your restaurant franchise has to be, where you will let a pimp be on your window. You just got a pimp. Just pimping out shrimp at Long John Silver. You have to be
What's going to bring people into our fish restaurant? How about traffics other human beings?
How about a shrimp? How about a pimp? Go on. He's a shrimp.
Can you imagine working at the drive-in? What you want, sweetheart? Speak up. Can't hear you. You talking too slow. You ain't gonna get no more. You better get it fast because your ass is gonna get on my line. You don't hear me, ho? I'm just saying. I mean, can you just? I just want some chicken flank. That's all I want, and you get that whole pimp game.
Yeah. Or maybe that's what they should do is hire pimps, because at least the pimps have the gift of gab, and it will keep you coming back to the Long John Silver's. You know?
Yeah.
And it's just a safer way to interact with a pimp when they are working at Long John versus like on the street when they have a lot more, free range.
We need a safer environment to interact with pimps. That's what we're missing.
Long John Silver's.
I live in Central LA, and we have a bustling trade of ladies having office hours on our street.
Office
hours. And it makes me think of that because that pimp shrimp was so like classic, and the ladies outside my house are so classic. Like it's like something straight out of Pretty Woman or something.
Wow.
It's like if you were like, I'm gonna dress like a sex worker for Halloween. It's like this is what you would dress like. Like that shrimp was dressed like a pimp.
Unmistakable pimp.
It's unmistakable.
Yeah.
It's so unmistakable. It's very hard though to know what to say to your kids when you're like driving them to the bus in the morning, and it's like, this is an unmistakable lady having office hours right outside our house.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Maybe they need to get some Long John Silver sponsors.
Maybe they
Partner with them.
Tandy, did you have a scene?
Oh yeah. We cut to the inside of a Long John Silver. Now, I know I gave y'all all uniforms yesterday since this your first day in my store, but I'm not seeing enough legs, tits, and ass. What's going on here?
Well, I didn't think that was necessary. I'm working the where the hush puppies are getting fried, and I felt like I should just wear the regular Long John Silver's uniform. I felt like it's a.
I know. I'm not gonna even answer that because you're gonna have to go to the back and talk to me privately because you don't get what's going
Okay.
down.
Yeah, I know I'm not as foxy as the other ladies you hired here. I was working here before you started managing, so I appreciate you keeping me on, but
yeah.
I just thought I'd wear what I'm more comfortable with.
No, you gonna wear what I'm more comfortable. Ladies, school him. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to use my breath for this.
You out of line, buddy.
Oh,
you need to put on some fishnets when you are working at Long John Silver's like the rest of us ladies here. Okay? Yeah, I might get some fish grease pop on my fishnet and I got holes in them, but that just goes with the whole ambiance of what we're trying to do here.
Yeah. I may have burns from the grease all over my arms and my neck, but that's just the price of working here. Okay.
It doesn't have to be. We're FDA regulations that we could be following that make it a more safe and sterile work environment for all of us. For example, those high heels that you're wearing, this is a very slippery surface. Someone could slip and fall. You should wear something maybe like a rubber bottom to it that is a little bit more ergonomic.
I finished my call early. I was talking to Elroy. Did I hear the words FDA in here? Is somebody spouting off OSHA regulations in here to my people? Is that what I'm hearing?
That is exactly what you're hearing, Daddy.
Yeah, get on over to the window and make my money. Come here, talk to me, Fry Cook. Now what?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, new girl.
I don't know about everyone else, but I didn't call our old manager, Dean, Daddy, and I just feel a little weird about calling our new manager Daddy. Daddy.
New girl, that is what you're gonna call me. You're gonna call me Daddy when you get to work. You're gonna call me Daddy every time you address me, and you're gonna call me Daddy when you leave at night.
If I may, the last manager, although he went by Dean, he also went by Goblin King. Maybe that could be a nice middle ground if we just called you Goblin King.
Oh, y'all had a Goblin King up in here. Oh, yeah. Back in the pimp days, Goblin Kings was big. I used to know a Goblin King. Ran the whole labyrinth around the middle of Los Angeles. Yeah, I don't know if I want.
And this speech is he's giving it to a school. Like he's giving the same speech to a school.
And so when the Goblin King comes around, children, he's gonna look for the one in white, and the one in white, he's gonna make her his bottom. See, he's gonna bring her in. He's gonna do the most work for him.
Hey, it's really cool that your dad came for career day, but I don't know what he's talking about.
And scene. And that is the Can't Tell Us Nothing show, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to the people in the chat. Shout out to Katie. Thank you for rocking with us.
Yes.
Good. Yeah. I don't know why I shut that one again. Shout out to Katie. Shout out to King Will III. Shout out to Marina.
Oh my goodness.
Shout out to Neil.
I agree. I agree.
I agree. That was perfect.
And shout out to you, Betsy, for rocking with us for
Thank you,
tonight.
Betsy.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Betsy.
What a gift. Thank you so much for having me. That was so much fun.
Yeah, let people know where you can find out more about you. If you got something to plug, shout that out, please.
Yeah, you can always check out Why Mommy Drinks podcast. We're on a little hiatus right now, but we got hundreds of episodes to listen to. And you can follow me on Instagram at Betsy.Stover. And I teach classes over at UCB Theater. If you want to take some classes in person in Los Angeles or online, you can do that. Thanks so much.
Do. Yeah.
She's
great. She's great.
She is great.
She's great.
Oh, awesome. All right. Well, then we'll get on out of here. For John, for Michi, for Tandy, for myself, that's Can't Tell Us Nothing Show. For Betsy, thank you again for rocking with us. It's been phenomenal. We are out.
Hey,